Smael, just what has stood out to you about preparing for this Mississippi State offense, the things they do well and the things you guys have to adjust to?
Of course, they throw the ball well. Got a lot of good receivers, experienced quarterback. But I feel like a part a lot of people like look over is them running the ball. You know, they got a pretty solid run game, and they've been trying to improve over the last couple of years. So it's really just the balance between both of those.
Yes, Smael, on a day-to-day basis in practice, just what does Jamon Bullard's toughness look like?
I mean, he shows it every day. You know, contact, him being like a smaller guy, he definitely don't play like it. You know, he ain't afraid to come down and hit and, you know, stuff like that. Like, teammates feed off of it. So he really, like, a lot of guys look up to him.
Yeah, following the win over Tennessee, there's been a lot of praise for you guys about how both physically and mentally tough you have been. How as a player do you develop that and get tougher, both physically and mentally, over the course of your time here at Georgia?
I feel like the coaches put us in like a lot of positions where like we're a lot of like uncomfortable positions where like we gotta be tough and adapt to it. So I feel like the coaching staff really puts us in positions to where like they help develop that in the players.
Smael, just to this point in the season, how far along do you feel like this defense has come, and what are areas you think you guys can still improve in these next 3 games of the regular season?
From game 1 to now, I think we came a long way, but I still think it's like a long way to go. You know, and even the best games we played, it's still like a lot of improvement. So just week in and week out, if we keep improving, like the sky's the limit.
As of late, Georgia's been credited with having one of the best college football cultures in this country. So can you talk about the locker room culture?
The locker room culture, I mean, leaders of the team, like Nolan, Pop, they do a good job of, well, not just them two, but like there's a lot of leaders, but they do a good job of like instilling that culture, you know, holding players to a high standard and then themselves holding themselves to that high standard, you know, just different things like that.
Smael, what's been the kind of buy-in this week? You guys locked in after a really big emotional win?
Yeah, after Saturday, it's really behind us now. We started getting ready for Mississippi State, so just putting the best foot forward. You know, you hang your head on the past, like that's where you're bound to mess up in the future. So we're ready to look forward, get ready for Mississippi State.
Anything worrying you about Mississippi State?
Worrying? No, I wouldn't say anything worrying me.
Just how have you been feeling physically after dealing with that ankle injury earlier in the year, and how tough was that just working your way back?
It happened like in the Missouri game, beginning of October. So it was kind of rough them first couple weeks, and then thankfully we had the bye week that came in at a good time. So I was able to get through the bye week. Like the bye week was kind of rough. It was like me working my way back in, and then Florida week was whenever I felt like I was getting back into the swing of things. And then after Florida, like since then I feel fine. I feel better than I did before.
You talked about before about how your relationship with Jamon has grown since you've both gotten here, but since you guys both been playing together so much, how has your relationship and your ability to work in tandem with each other grown over the course of this season?
Well, even before we, even before this season, when we were both starting, we had a pretty close relationship. So I wouldn't say us starting really made that or did anything to the relationship. We still like been pretty close, just as close as we've always been. And then as far as like chemistry on the field, like we're playing together a lot more. So like it'll be times like I'll know what he wants to do, like, and he knows that I want to do without us even saying it, and then we'll just like I know what he's comfortable with, he knows what I'm comfortable with, so we just like basically bounce off each other.
With everything they've been through, did the defense feel any particular type of way when Tresman and Ryan got those sacks on Saturday?
Oh yeah, definitely. Both of them, battling injuries through their time here, like to see them like go out there having fun, making plays, like it was big for all of us. We was happy just like we made the play.
So while you guys are probably number one in this new rankings, college football rankings that come out in a half hour, whatever it is, like is that on in Bowman's and your cafeteria or eating dining space? I mean, do you guys talk about it? Will there be a text chain? Do you get excited?
I mean, I think they got ESPN on some of the TVs, but as far as like being excited about it, not really, because whoever's number one in November, it don't really too much matter. Like by the time the end of the year is over with, so we just gotta not really worry about a ranking and keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, this culture of not being excited about being number one, I think, is that what you expected when you got to Georgia, or is that something you've had to learn of, hey, this is just another week, another ranking?
You talking about me personally or like
Yeah,
as a
personally.
team? Me personally, like I never really been like a person to like be too worried about like outside noise or stats like that. So like ranking stuff like that, I was never really too big on that anyway. So like us being number one now, that's not really like something that's on my head like that, just because I always been like that.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.
No problem.